Good evening, everybody. We're going to be doing solving problems involving volume tonight. Let's go ahead and work these out. First of all, we can see number 7 says level practice in 7 through 8, find the volume of each prism. If I'm finding the volume, first I want to find, make sure I'm using the formula, and that is that the volume equals the base times the height. Well, we have to find the formula of the base first. This time we have a triangle, and the formula of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. This will give us the base of this prism. Well, right now we could say that divided by 2 is the same as multiplying by 0.5. The base of this triangular prism, we know it's a triangular prism because it has triangles on each side. And we know that the base is 4.2 and the height is 2.8. Now we simply multiply these things together and then multiply them to 7. That'll give us the answer. So here's my calculator. And if we work this out, we got 0.5 times 4.2 times 2.8. 5.88. So that means it's 5 point. Oh, sorry, I forgot to multiply it to 7, didn't I? 5.88. Sorry about that. Times 7. The volume is 41.16. Oh, that'd be 41.16 millimeters cubed. We're going to double check it because I like double checking my work. And if I do this as 0.5 times 4.2 times 2.8 times 7, 41.16. All right, so got the answer to that one, and let's move on. So let's move to number 9. Number 9 says, a tunnel for the amusement park has a shape of a regular hexagonal prism. Hexagonal means it has 6 sides. With the dimensions shown, the prism has a volume of 3,572.1 cubic meters. Can 2 8-meter cars connected by a 3-meter connector pass through the tunnel at the same time? Wow. Okay, what they're saying is if this was a tunnel, if we had 2 8-meter cars, and let's just say this is a car, this is a car, and they're connected by a 3-meter connector. All right, so let's just make this look a little more like a car. And they're connected by this connector. Will they be able to fit through here? They want to know, is this long enough to hold this car and this car? Okay. Let's just pretend those are the seats on the car. All right. So we got to find out the length here. We can still use the formula of a volume equals base times the height. But since we're trying to find the height, we're going to alter the formula a little bit. Remember, this could also mean that I'm dividing b from here to get h alone, which means I would divide b from here. Well, this takes out my b's, and it leaves h by itself. So we have a new formula, volume divided by the base will equal the height. And that'll tell us how long it is, and then we can see if it's long enough. We know these 2 cars right here are 8 meters, and they're connected by a 3-meter connector. So 8 plus 3 plus 8, well, 8 and 8 is 16, 17, 18, 19. That means I need it to be longer than 19 meters in order for both cars in the connector to fit. Well, we already know what the volume is because it gives it to us right here. So we can rewrite this as to, say, 3,572.1 is going to be divided by the base. Now we have to figure out what the base is. Well, the base is a hexagon, and we know that a hexagon is really, if you look at this here, we've got 6 triangles that are all meeting off of the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I find the area of one of these triangles, I can multiply it to 6. I already know I have to multiply it by 6. I know a triangle's formula is base times height divided by 2. So the base of this triangle is 8.1. So we're going to have to multiply all this times 8.1. And we're going to have to multiply that to 7. That's the height. And then we have to remember to multiply that to 1/2. So because it's base times height divided by 2. Or I could just write it as 8.1 times 7. Let's see this. Instead of putting a dot there, I put times 7. And then all this divided by 2. All right? So let's give that a shot. And then this will equal the height. So first we're going to take, I guess we're going to have to take this number here. Well, let's find out what this is first, and then we'll know what to divide this by. If I get my calculator, we're going to take, let's see here, 6. This is all multiplying to each other, times 8.1 times 7 divided by 2. That's going to give me 170.1. So this is really 170.1. All right, and then this is 3,572.1 divided by 170.1. And that's going to equal H. All right, let's try to solve that. We've got 3,572.1 divided by 170.1. That's going to equal 21. So that means that the length of this, or the height of this cylinder, is 21. All right? And now that we know that, and we realize that the 2 cars in the connector only need 19, we can say that yes, can 2 meters, let's type this out. Yes, 2, let's see, cars and or 2 cars with a 3-meter connector can pass through at the same time. All right, and that's what the question asks. So let's go ahead and move on. You guys have number 10, so good luck with that one. I am going to number 11. It says make sense and preserve. A small cube has a volume of 64 cubic feet. A larger, so this one right here has a volume of 64 cubic feet. A larger cube has sides that are 3 times as long as the small cube. How long are the sides of each cube? Okay. Well, if this is 64 cubic feet, we're going to have to realize what is going to go ahead and equal that. We remember that our formula should be the same, and let's see, I've got our writing tool. We remember that volume is equal to whatever the base is. Well, this is a cube, though, isn't it? So a cube really is whatever the measure is times 3. Because think about it, if this is 4, then this has to be 4, and this has to be 4. That means this volume be 4 times 4 times 4. Right? And, now that I said that out loud, let's see here. This would have to be the volume they said is 64. So that would be in place of V. We'd have to find out what times itself 3 times would equal 64. And I said, just by guessing over here, what if this was 4? I think that might actually be the number. Let's find out. We can use our calculator in this way. We could take, let's see, this is the square sign, and what we need is the sign where we're able to put the number in. Now, in many cases, I could just come over here where it says xy, and if I said 4, xy, and then I was to put 3 to see if 4 to the third power equals 64, look at that, it does. So that tells me right there, this is 4, all right? 4 cubed. Now that I know that, I know each side is 4. How long are the sides of each cube? If they're saying the larger cube has 3 times as many, well, if they're 3 times, 4 times 3 is 12. So that means these sides are all 12. Okay? That one turned out a little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. 12 is yours, and I believe 13 is mine. It says here a mailbox has the dimensions shown. What is the volume? Again, if we find the volume equals the base times the height, we got to find the base of this, and the base is made up of 2 different shapes. Looks like a square and a triangle. Well, the square is 8 by 8, so 8 times 8 is going to be 64. And then the triangle is going to be 8 by 2 divided by 2. Remember, the triangle formula is base times height divided by 2. So the base is going to be 8, height would be 2, we divide by 2. Really, that's just canceling each other out. So that's going to be 8. So the area of that triangle is 8. We're going to add 8 and 64. And 8 and 64 are going to make 72. So now we know this whole area is 72. Okay? And now that we found that that's 72, we have to multiply 72 to the height, which is 12. We check our calculator. 72 times 12 is 864. So this equals 864. Well, this is inches, and since we're talking volume, this is cubic inches. All right, and that takes care of number 13. Looks like I'm down to my last one, which is number 15, and it looks like it's going to be a monster. Let's go ahead and look at this really quick. Let me give myself some extra room to work here. When we look at this one, we say that it's got a cake of 2 layers. Each layer has a rectangular hexagonal prism. The slice removes one face of each prism. as shown. Okay, a hexagonal prism, it removes one slice of each prism, okay, each one of the prisms, as shown. What is the volume of the slice? Well, it looks to me, it says each layer, okay, the slice removed. Okay, so what it looks like it's happening here is they're taking one piece, it's like 1/6 of it, away. Um, yes, I would say definitely that, because they're cutting right into there, and that's showing the perpendicular line there. So what we're looking at are two hexagons. Um, the bottom one is a big one. Okay, and I know that's not the prettiest hexagon. Um, and we have to remember that a hexagon has a center as well. And each one of these centers, you could say, is intersected. That's 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, I made an octagon there. Let's try that again. Hexagon has 6 sides. There we go. And if I do that, then each one of these sides, okay, can go to the center and create its own triangle. As we see here, this bottom one, perpendicular to the side, is going to be 5.2. So each one of these is 5.2 inches. Now the base looks like it's going to be 6 inches. So this is 6 inches. All right? And I think that's about all the information we need to find for the bottom one. It's asking, what is the volume of the slice first? So let's solve that one. The volume of the slice is going to be one of these triangles. And if I know that, I take that back, this is going to actually be the dot going down the center here. Okay? And then let's not forget that it's also 2 inches high. The formula for volume stays the same. Volume equals the base times the height. This time, since we're talking one slice, we're only talking one triangle is the base. All right, we're talking about this one piece here that's been removed. And we know that it's 2 inches tall. We know from the center this way that it is 5.2. And we know this side is 6 inches. So from there, we can work. First of all, we take the formula for a triangle, which is base times height divided by 2. We realize the base is going to be 6. The height is going to be 5.2. And we're going to have to divide that by 2. And then we're still going to have to multiply that whole base by 2. All right? And really, if we're multiplying by 2 or dividing by 2, we can almost cancel these out, but I'm going to go through the whole thing with you just to make sure you understand it. We got 6 times 5.2, 6 times 5.2. That equals 31.2. We're going to divide by 2. That's going to give us 15.6, and then we're going to multiply by 2. So that whole thing there, that top piece is 31.2. But remember, that's just the slice, of the bottom piece, not the top piece. Now we're going to find this top piece up here, which is going to be shaped like this. All right? And if we do that, we see that this time the center is 4.3. So 4.3 is going to be the height of my triangle. 5 is the base. And we're going to divide all that by 2. And then we're going to have to multiply it by its height. This time the height is 3. That'll give us the small piece, the volume of the small piece. So let's see. That's going to be 5 times 4.3 divided by 2 and times 3. That's going to give us 32.25. 32.25. Now we're going to add these together to find out the total piece that was cut off. Well, 5 has not got anything to add to. 2 and 2 are 4. 1 and 2 are 3. And 3 and 3 are 6. That means the volume of one slice is 63.45. It's in inches, so it's inch cubed. Now we have to find what is the volume of the remaining cake. Well, the remaining cake is going to be the other 5 slices, right? We found the slice of this one, so the remaining is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just take this number and multiply it by 5. So we're going to, let's see, add it. Well, let's just take that number all together. 63.45, multiply it to 5, and that gives us 317.25. So that's going to be 317.25 inch cube. All right, so we found our answer to B and A, and that's it for me tonight. Good luck with the rest of them, and I'll see you tomorrow.